What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Postgame, presented by Circa Sportsbook. Download the Circa Sports Illinois app, circasports.com/Illinois-app today. Sign up. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. Join my guy here, Big Dave. Bow. BAWL Sports. Our pal producer, Joey Spathis, on the controls.
I was laughing at Fish. He said, Sunnyside, take me away. Take me away. Calgon.
Oh,
take me away.
Our guy, Will the Go Gottlieb, will join us on the Go Talk hotline from the United Center later on in tonight's post game. The Bulls fall to the Suns in a overtime heartbreaker.
100 miles an hour.
116-115. Right there. Even had a 4-point lead in OT.
Oh.
Had it.
Had it
in the bag.
Had it.
And then the bag.
Then the bag broke.
Blew away.
Then the bag said,
Yowza.
Crack.
I got a lot of thoughts. A lot of thoughts about this one, as I'm sure you do too, Dave. As I'm sure y'all out there in Bulls Nation have thoughts. Can I start on a negative note? Because this is a loss. This is a loss, and I feel like we need to start on a negative note.
Start wherever you want to start.
I have positives tonight.
I'm sure, but start wherever you want to start.
But that's an L, and I'm going to start with this.
Okay.
If I have to see Zach LaVine dribble the ball off his leg / foot / other body part one more time in the waning minutes of a close game, I don't know what to do with myself.
He won't.
I am Ricky Bobby post-race interview.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands other than grab my hat and fucking throw it. Because
damn, that was a good one.
Thanks, buddy. There were so many ways in which the Bulls deserved credit for scrapping back in this game.
Yeah.
Dug themselves an 18-point hole. They came back from it.
Yeah.
Dug themselves another double-digit hole in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Came back from that.
Yeah.
Had every chance late in the fourth and in overtime to win this game. DeMar hit some clutch buckets. Caruso, magician.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, I'm sorry. And all three of the Bulls' big three got 20-plus tonight, which is something that we don't see happen that often.
That's very true.
It's not like Zach had a trash game tonight, but there were still multiple occasions where I watched Zach LaVine handle a possession where I was like, Zach, no, please stop.
Yeah. He, if you look at the numbers, I mean, 22, 8, and 8 is what he put up. 7 of 13 shooting, and 3 of 6 from the three-point line. So he checked all the boxes.
He did
when it came to those things, for sure. But it kind of was like Nat said, as far as the dribbling was concerned, it was a concern.
Every time Zach puts the ball on the floor, as a Bulls fan, your heart shrivels up. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't have faith when he had the ball and he had to dribble and go to the bucket and create. And kudos to him. He definitely had possessions where he made stuff happen. What was the one where he gets the ball, he comes down, he kicks it. I believe he kicked it to Kobe, and Kobe misses the three. Zach gets the rebound, brings it back out, resets, then goes inside and drops it off to Vuce for the nice layup. That was an excellent basketball play. I love that play by Zach.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, the dribbling off his leg, I mean, he had 3 big turnovers, and he was a minus 14. Even with the numbers I told you.
Right.
He still had that happen.
In Zach's defense, the entire Bulls starting 5 tonight came out negative.
All of them came out negative, yes. All of them came out negative.
DeMar was the best at -3.
And again, the only person off the bench that was a negative was Ayo Dosunmu, and he played 9 minutes. So that's just we talked about that last time. The last bad loss where I lost my goddamn mind. Only 2 people on the bench had negative, but everybody in your starting 5 was a negative. It's hard to win those games that way. Yeah, man, it's just tough watching Zach do it like that because he did literally everything I wanted him to do in that game, which was rebound and pass the ball.
He did,
and he got a steal in there as well. But the 3 it's not just he had 3 turnovers; they were like big, like
timely,
important turnovers that he had, bro, and that's what made it suck. But I'm not as mad at Zach.
Credit to Zach for sharing the ball. 8 dimes is great for Zach. You love to see that. But that, one of the last couple of possessions in OT where it ends up going to Vooch on the block, and it was just like a difficult, like turned baseline fadeaway little push shot.
Yeah,
that just clanged off the iron.
Yeah,
and as much as you want to credit Zach for keeping the ball moving, like Zach had a shot there that he didn't take.
Yeah,
because he passed it to Vooch instead. I was like, you know what? I didn't want to see that Vooch shot on that left baseline right there because that was gross. I mean.
Vooch had 26, 6, and 3.
He had a night.
And I still was upset the way he played.
I mean, like, he knocked down big threes late in that game.
He did.
You're like, oh, my God, Vooch is drilling big threes. That's crazy.
He did.
Still, in those moments when the game is on the line and it's a one-possession game,
yeah,
you put in all your eggs in the give the ball to Vooch in the post basket?
I don't understand that.
They did that, and he turned it over.
And he turned it over immediately. Like immediately. I haven't seen him with the ball with that kind of time left on the clock outside of him being outside at the top of the key taking a 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time I see it like that. Him in the post, like, yo, go to work, get us the win.
Mm-hmm.
I can't recall the time I've seen that in his tenure with the Chicago Bulls. Usually he's at the top of the key with times running down and he's hitting the 3. Saying, oh, man, we're going inside to you. When he did it, I said, whoa. I was like, whoa. He took it out of DeMar's hands? What are we doing right here? It was new to me, and I guess it was new to Vooch because he said, it turned it right on over, and they went on down. But you're right, man. They had the 4-point lead, and that was the nice cushion. Usually in overtime, it's about that 4-point lead when you get that cushion. Because then all it is on you is to have a defensive possession and just not give up the big 3. And they immediately gave up the big 3 to a dude whose name I don't even know right now, number 21. But on the baseline, a baseline 3. And it wasn't just the fact that Captain Dipshit had 8 threes tonight. Sorry, man. 8 threes for that dude. 8. And about good 5 or 6 of them were wide the hell open.
Not even going to put this White Sox one on before I throw it.
Damn, the disrespect. But they're being shitty right now anyway. But my God, man, like, just he was so open many, many times. Even the ones he was missing.
Yeah.
He was just wide open.
Vanilla Chill in the comments mentioned Kobe kept leaving him. Like, everyone was guilty of leaving him open at some point tonight.
Agreed. Oh, everyone. No. Everybody left him open. And Kobe...
at one point, you asked me, you're like, yo, Caruso, why are you doubling Nurkic right now?
Why?
And leaving Grayson.
Zach did the same thing.
Yep.
Zach went and doubled Nurkic. I'm like, it's Nurkic. Leave him alone. Like, if Nurkic does it, then let Nurkic do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw somebody just a few seconds ago in the comments saying, like, Nurkic just absolutely ate Vooch tonight. I mean... Nurkic had himself a night. He had 20 points on 8 of 16. He had 17 boards. He also slung 8 assists. Shout out to those Nurkic assists. They helped me hit my parlay tonight. However, it's not like Vooch got absolutely owned in that matchup. Vooch had 26, as you mentioned, on even more efficient shooting than Nurkic had tonight.
He did.
So it's like, at some point, are you really running that risk of leaving those Sun shooters open to throw a double at Nurkic?
It's Nurkic, bro. Like,
I mean, if it weren't for the fact that Eric Gordon went 0 of 8 from downtown tonight,
tough.
This game is over.
A wrap. And the Bulls, I thought, did a solid job even on Kevin Durant. I thought he did a solid job. I mean, he had 25, 6, and 9 and 2.
But it was 7 of 16 for KD.
But I felt like he had to earn all those buckets.
Yeah.
And he had to get all those, man. And 9 of those came from the free throw line because he was 9 of 9 at the free throw line. So I thought they did a really solid job on him. I thought that, they did a good job as far as like transition wise.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really solid job. They showed some toughness coming back because the Suns were kicking their ass to start the game. And then they came when Caruso walked in and hit 3 straight threes. Like, they brought their asses right on back. Javon Carter coming in doing more Javon Carter stuff. More Javon Carter, Billy. More Javon Carter. God. But they did a good job coming back. They did. They did an excellent job with that. Torrey Craig was interesting tonight, I thought, also played 19 minutes. I know he got smacked in the face.
He did.
I'm wondering.
I kind of felt like Torrey Craig had a goes unnoticed game tonight.
Yeah, he did. I forgot he was there.
Forgot he was there.
And that's the first time that I've said that about Torrey Craig this season.
Do you think he and Patrick Williams Freaky Friday'd each other?
But it's one of my fears of starting Torrey Craig.
Yeah.
Is that could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's one of my fears. You know, it is. It's one of my fears, but who do I want? Patrick Williams this beer or I want Torrey Craig this beer? That's what you have to ask yourself. But it is one of my fears because I love his energy and what he brings into the game and stuff like that. And when he's not on, where the hell do I get my energy from? Luckily, I got it tonight from Alex Caruso, who said, I'm going to try to carry this team.
Man.
And no disrespect to Alex Caruso, but if Alex Caruso is carrying your squad, you got issues, fam.
That's the thing. I have seen several people in the comments already tonight saying, blow this team up, trade everyone, comma, except Alex Caruso.
That's not how it works.
Which, like, guess what? If the Bulls hit the self-detonate button this season,
he might be the first.
Who's getting you the most trade value? Because I swear to God, I'm only half joking. It might be Caruso.
That's real. No, that's real, man.
On an expiring deal, it might be Caruso because some playoff-bound team wants him on a half-season loaner and maybe signing him to a new deal to help them go try to win a championship.
This is another game where
he's the best Bulls player on the floor tonight.
Oh, without a doubt.
Has been most of this season, if not all of this season.
Without a doubt. This is another game that the Bulls had 30 points off of turnovers. Last game, they had 30 points off of turnover. I believe 32.
We talked to pregame about maybe taking advantage of a Suns offense trying to figure things out with Beal getting thrown into the mix.
Yeah.
They were sloppy tonight.
Very sloppy, but they destroyed them on the rebounds. I mean, absolutely killed the Bulls on the rebound. What is that? 53-39? They had them on the rebounds? Yeah, that's quite nasty. Like, they got on them on that. And
13 offensive boards for Phoenix.
Those offensive
only 9
boards
for the Bulls tonight
were huge.
And that's one of the few areas statistically where the Bulls have been better than their opponents through this first stretch of the season.
Correct.
Is beating them on the offensive glass, giving their offense more chances because this Bulls half-court offense is inept, to put it kindly.
And everything else was kind of in the balance, which is kind of how you go to overtime, right? When everything is kind of matching up. 3-point percentage. Phoenix was 39. Bulls are shooting 42, even though Phoenix put up damn near 50. The Bulls put up 33. But the percentages were there. The free throws, they took 25. The Bulls took 23.
Man.
I mean.
Yeah, and I think the Bulls went 17 of 23.
Correct. You're absolutely right.
As opposed to 21 of 25
now
for Phoenix.
And that stung.
I mean.
That stung.
The Bulls make 2 more of their free throws, they win this game, which also
I love you, Julia.
I'm sorry.
I love you, Julia.
You know what bugs me more than the free throws, Dave? Because I think you know.
Talk to me, Matthew Peck.
The Bulls shot over 42% from 3 tonight.
Yes, they did.
Their opponent shot just under 40% from 3 tonight.
Tell me this, Tim's.
The Bulls
that I just stated. Say it.
48 for Phoenix. 33 for the Bulls. The Bulls got outscored behind the 3-point line by 15 points tonight. That is now 8 of their first 9 games in which they lose the 3-point battle, most of them pretty widely, on a night when you shoot a better percentage than your opponent.
Yeah.
You lose the 3-point battle by 15 points. How many times do I have to throw a hat because of that stupid shit? I mean, I saw somebody in the comments, I'm sure you weren't the only one recently, saying somebody in the Bulls building needs to say to each other, quote, "It's Billy." Look, if you want to be mad at Billy tonight because he didn't give Javon Carter more tick, you are allowed to be mad at Billy Donovan for that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to be mad solely at Billy Donovan for this busted-ass roster being his problem.
Yeah, it's not his fault. Not completely his fault.
You're losing the 3-point battle every night.
Every night.
What's Billy supposed to do about that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, you know what? I'm not sorry.
Uh-oh.
It's the same busted-ass bullshit.
Uh-oh.
And I think, Joey, you had the comment up on the screen earlier. I can't remember who it was from. Somebody talking about the hitting the self-destruct button. Jeremy? Yes. Wait. I think it was a Jeremy Scott comment who I just saw in the comments a second ago. I want to give him credit for it. Because it was something about, like, the sooner we recognize... It's on the screen? There we go. Can I please press the detonation button on this team already so we can blow this team up? So tired of mediocrity. Give me a rebuild. Let the young players grow. Fire BD ASAP. As I just said, I agree with 96.5% of that comment. But here's the plus side, Bulls fans. If you came into tonight's game being like, 3-5, I'm not sure I'm buying this. Mm-hmm. I feel gross already. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm ready to sell on my emotional investment.
Get it out.
Instead of being 4-5 right now, the Bulls are 3-6 right now.
Look at the joy. Look at the
For those of us who
look at the joy
are really wanting larger changes to happen than Billy's rotation. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is good news.
I enjoy the chaos, Matt. You know this about me.
Dude, you were rooting hard for that W.
Oh, absolutely. I'm rooting hard for that W. Every goddamn game I want to win.
I respect it.
But I enjoy the chaos because I understand what change needs to happen. I get it. But if my team is playing, I don't care, bro, they could be throwing Walt Lemon Jr. out there. I'm going to be rooting for a damn win. All right? I want to win. It's what it is.
I want to win.
I want to win. All right? It's what it is. But I understand. I'm not naive to anything, but I just like winning. Winning is fun. Winning is good. Winning is awesome. All right? But things are going to happen how they're going to happen, which is why I don't mind how they went about things. I'm like, when it's time to change it, they're going to be forced to do it. Because it's going to happen how it's going to happen. You can't avoid it. You can't duck it. You can't dodge it. It's going to smack you in the face. And that's what it's doing right now. It's smacking you across your lips. Because once it hits your lips, it doesn't feel good or taste good. It's a goddamn bad loss again. And I heard Whippadoo say it, like a good loss and things like that. I heard him say that. And I'm like, for me, it wasn't a good loss. I'm like, no, that's a bad loss, because it's a loss that everything about you said you should have won this game tonight, and you ended up walking away with the L. Phoenix didn't outplay you. They out-rebounded you.
I mean, I'm sorry, you were down 24-6. Mm-hmm. And I already gave the Bulls credit for clawing their way back from that early 18-point deficit. You got back in the fight. Good for you. And Stacey called him out for it early on in that first quarter when it was 24-6.
That's his favorite.
The Bulls came out flat as hell in this game.
Yeah.
How many times do we have to see that? Surprisingly, advanced stats-wise, the Bulls in first quarter so far this season have been okay.
Yeah.
Better than you'd expect if you go and look at their first quarter stats this season.
Yeah.
But you get punched in the mouth like that on your home floor, I'm sorry. I just... Not just this season in its first 9 games, but for the last few years, I've seen that too many times. I've seen that too many freaking times.
Yeah.
And it's not just about execution failure, digging yourself that 24-6 hole. They were just ghost moving through nothing.
Yeah.
Their offense was just flat as hell.
Yeah.
Nobody was moving. Nobody was doing anything. On defense, nobody was getting their rotations right. It looked like the Suns were running circles around them.
Yeah.
And look what happened. They built a near 20-point lead. That shit is not excusable.
No. And it shouldn't be excused. And that's what we do here. We call that shit out. And we talk about it. And we deal with it and we say it.
Fish. They were cones.
Even looking at Torrey Craig, who, was inserted into the starting lineup. We mentioned him real quickly. 0 points. 19 minutes, no points. 0 of 3. He was a minus 24. But the dude they put on the bench, Patrick Williams, 20 minutes, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 1 of 7 from the field, including going up for a dunk and getting it thrown back in his goddamn face.
And taking a long two.
Oh, man.
Coming off a quick little
you talked about that. Yeah, you weren't a fan.
Not a fan of that long pat two.
Dribbled into the long two.
And then
we're tired of seeing y'all
even
dribbling
the step back three he had in the first half, we were like, oh, look at that Pat step back three. Didn't need to put the ball on the floor first. Was open when he caught it.
Yep. Made the move on Kevin Durant. Oh, there's a move, Clang. It was a miss. Just so many misses. That dunk is what did it for me, though.
Man.
That's what did it. I was like, God damn, dog, what is going on? It's just a sad revelation. And again, if Alex Caruso is your best player on the squad, bro, you got issues. All right? Issues. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully to him because he's an awesome player. But he's one off the bench And he's too not to be expected to be carrying you. If he's the one carrying you, God damn it, your back about to break. Yo, you might as well, man. It's a wrap. We're not going too far. He might carry you half a mile, but he got to put you down. He gonna have to put you down, bro. Like, that's tough. That's tough, man.
Carry you 3 steps.
3.
We gotta take our first break. We will come back on the other side, continue breaking down tonight's game, get to more of y'all's thoughts out there in Bulls Nation. Appreciate you for hanging out with us late on a weeknight. We got 250-some people watching in the chat.
Shout out to you.
Appreciate each and every one of you. We'll appreciate you even more if you do us a quick, simple favor. Hit that thumbs up button.
That's it.
If you're watching along on YouTube.
That's it.
Our guy Joey really wants your thumbs, y'all.
Oh,
not like in a creepy keep him in a jar on his bedside kind of way. Just like he wants you to hit the thumbs up button.
We just wanted to let them know, Joe.
Yeah, no, that's it. Thank you for clarifying. I don't want to do that with your thumb.
Yeah, we just clarifying. You don't got to wear sweatpants all the time. We just want to make sure they know this. That's all. We just make sure you're okay.
You can't give him flack for wearing sweatpants 2 days in a row.
3, actually.
3 days in a row.
What do you mean? You've already done that.
Yeah.
You already gave me flack on the show yesterday for wearing sweatpants.
I did. And then the day before, day before that.
And guess what? I'm wearing sweatpants tomorrow.
My man! And that's why I love him. And that's why I love him. And that's why I'll continue.
And that's why we.
I mean, you're talking about me. I'm wearing shorts every goddamn day. I mean, come on, dog.
This is true.
I'm
I'm the most well-dressed person at the office tonight. And that is horrifying.
No, I would say appropriately dressed for the weather outside. I would say appropriately. I'll give you that one. Absolutely. Jeans, nice shoes. That hat, well, mini hats. Well, there's another one. All right.
Big Dave, tell the fine people in Bulls Nation about our friends at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Ray!
Radio Ray.
My man Ray. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Are you?
Main man Vern.
Are you looking for one? I hope you are. Because if you are, there's only one place you should be. And that's Ray, Chevy, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. If you are, check them out, man. Because they're in Fox Lake, and they have just joined the CHGO team, y'all. At Ray CDJR, you will always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories and find unforgettable savings. And right now, during Ram Power Day, in your face, at Ray CDJR, only in Fox Lake, you'll be able to secure 0% financing or 17% off new Ram models. But that's not all. No. Shout out Sarah.
Game Time Hoops.
Now through.
I got him.
Yo, that was hilarious, man. Oh, he was the best, man. Explore that showroom and take advantage of that limited time 7-year anniversary savings. 7 years. They've been around in Fox Lake giving you savings and looking out for you, the people. That's what Ray does. Yes. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, because they are the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, visit Ray CDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com today, serving the community since 1963. Ray!
Man, y'all in the comments are awesome, Bulls Nation. There's just so much chaos going on. Jeff Brock saying, bring back Javon Freeman Liberty, just so I can hear Adam and Stacy say his name. Marco said, best ad reads in all of CHGO. See y'all next week at the takeover. Let's go, Marco!
Let's go, Marco!
Y'all out there, Bulls Nation, get your tickets to the CHGO Bulls takeover next Friday if you haven't done it yet. Jelly said Big Dave Nat King would be proud. Multiple people, including Alex, calling for a spin of the draft lottery simulator tonight, Joe.
Already? God damn.
Yeah. Ricky said, my girlfriend said she was leaving me. I tried to preach about continuity. She moved on anyway. Sending our love and strength to you in these difficult times, Ricky.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Let
you,
us
Ricky.
take your mind off it. Mm-hmm. We can also help you save $1 or $2 if you're looking around at your girlfriendless apartment and thinking, man, I need new floors. with Empire today.
Oh my God.
You get shop at home convenience.
Some way the segues are harsh. Sometimes they're harsh.
Sometimes you just got to power through those segues, baby. The right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and that low price guarantee.
Oh, man.
Empire today is the best place to get new flooring. So, of course, they have copycats amongst their competitors. But those copycats can't beat Empire on quality. They can't beat them on service. They can't beat them on speed. So all they do is advertise low-quality products at lower prices that Empire doesn't even bother to carry. They won't promise you the lowest price because if they were, they would be putting crap flooring in your home that they wouldn't put in theirs. That's the bottom line. Empire's philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of unnecessary choices and substitutes. What Empire leaves out of their selection just as important as what they put into it. Empire's product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples each year to find the perfect styles for their clients. They also offer a very cool feature called their virtual floor designer, which is a great way to see how different types of flooring can work in any space in your home. It's very easy to use. All you got to do is snap a picture, and then instantly you can see how floors look in different rooms in your place. Shopping for floors at big box stores can be frustrating because sometimes you're going to be working with somebody who was working in the plumbing department yesterday or the Christmas lights department the day before that.
It's not Christmas
and they're trying to convince you that they're an expert on flooring when they're really not. Sorry, I was just assigned here today. It's like that scene when of Parks and Rec when Ron is trying to help them do some home improvement upgrades. He's walking through some.
Oh, right. And people just ask,
and one of the staff of the store is like, "Hey, you working on a project?" And Ron just looks at him and goes, "I know more than you." Right. He's walking. But with Empire, flooring is all they do. They live and breathe flooring. It's like I live and breathe throwing hats when the Bulls let us down. They also service all of they service their own warranties. So if an issue does arise, they service those warranties themselves, meaning you don't have to track down those different manufacturers and their various phone numbers. If you schedule a free in-home estimate today and shop with Empire today, you can earn a $350 discount.
Woo!
That's right, Bulls Nation. $350 off when you shop at Empire by using the promo code CHGO. Go to empiretoday.com/CHGO for details and to get that discount. Restrictions apply.
Yeah.
580 to 300 days.
Empire
today.
It's sexy.
Look at sweet little Joe just going
Look at
on
Joe.
little hat mission over there.
I just heard the theme from Andy Griffin playing when he walked over there.
Sorry.
Joe looks like a cool Ron
moving
Howard.
on with tonight's post game. All of y'all's thoughts out there, Bulls Nation. I like this from Sherman in the comments, who said, "Will Purdue's post game analysis was the only problem is the Suns are just a little better than the Jazz." Will Purdue's not wrong about that.
No, he's not.
The Suns are better than the Jazz.
Skosh.
The Bulls are not better than the Suns, it appears.
No, it appears this way.
Took the L. Speaking of our friends over at NBC Sports Chicago, happy birthday to our guy Jason Goff, who you may have seen on the broadcast tonight, taking in the game from the Madhouse instead of working in studio. I do have a bone to pick, however.
Matt with a bone to pick?
Yeah, not with Jason Goff.
That doesn't sound like
we love Jason Goff.
Okay.
That's our guy.
Of course.
So is everyone over there at NBC.
That's a fact.
If you saw when the broadcast team flashed to Jason Goff
oh, God.
for his birthday shout-outs,
some hats are coming, Joe.
You could tell where he was sitting because he was sitting in the owner's suite. And not only was Mark Eversley hanging out back behind him, that's okay. He's the GM of this team. You're allowed to sit back there. Lex Luthor. You could see Lex Luthor sitting behind Jason Goff on those birthday shout-out camera shots, and it drove me frickin' crazy, Bulls Nation.
Who's Lex Luthor, Matt?
Some refer to him as someone who used to wear a Bulls jersey. I believe his number was 5 back in the day.
Game-winning 3, third championship.
Held the title that Arturas Karnisovas currently holds, and no longer holds that title, and yet is still hanging out in Nashville at training camp. getting in the way of Jason Goff's birthday glory on the broadcast.
He was in the background.
Get that man out of that building. I'm sick of seeing his face. I'm sorry. You can call me a hater. You can tell me to get over it.
Yeah.
I'm not over it. No, and you're damn right I'm a hater.
You are definitely a hater.
He's definitely a hater. But he knows it, and he embraces it every day. He gets it, but he is who he is.
You got to be yourself, man.
You only
and
get
I'm a
one
Bulls
life.
fan who never wants to see that dude's ugly mug ever again.
You only get one shot.
One opportunity. I want to puke mom's spaghetti all over that guy's face. I don't like it. I don't care for it.
He does not. He's not a fan. He's not a fan at all. Oh, God.
You know what I am a fan of, Dave?
Talk to me, Matt.
Our fellow Bulls fans.
They are. I'm a huge fan.
Let's do some super chats, Joe, before our guy Will the Goat joins us.
Those cheer us up.
We got some super chats.
Those always cheer us up.
Shout out to our guy Mark K, who said bald Tony La Russa. Yes!
Oh.
Yes!
Thankfully, he's not as
involved. It's almost like those two organizations are run by the same people.
Thankfully, he's not as involved as Tony La Russa.
Alexander says
he's a training camp.
He's not involved like this. This dude's making this. Don't get me yelling. All right, leave me alone.
The amount of hats thrown are going to be staggering.
We don't know what the number is. I haven't been counting in my head. And
Joey's got it. The night's not over. The night's
That's
young.
what I'm saying.
The night's young.
Did you make your guess on over or under though?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's already the overhit.
Shout out to Alex for the super chat.
AK, tough loss. Bulls started lethargic, but clawed their way back to force overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Craig and Williams combined for 3 points. Yikes. Bulls out-rebound again tonight by 15. Zach again with crucial turnovers.
Crucial.
Yep. We covered the Zach TOs.
Crucial.
You covered the fact that Craig and Pat combined for 3 points tonight.
3?
Was it Rappel Bulldog, speaking of our friends at NBC, who said that the Bulls' power forward position is cursed?
He did say this. Yes.
I mean,
he did say this.
We got to watch Lowry Markkanen balling out for Utah.
Yep.
Pat, we're like, man, can we even sign this guy to another contract?
Is it worth it?
You know what? Bench Pat, start Torrey.
Right, reverse. Like you started both of them with power forward, they ended up putting Caruso on Kevin Durant.
Yeah. And at one point, Joe, you were like, oh my God, Caruso's on KD. And I was like, yeah, that's probably their best option.
Yeah, that's probably your best option right there. And it turned out you was correct. He did a solid job on Kevin Durant.
Man.
He really did. Forced a couple turnovers and everything.
Yeah. Ricky, meanwhile, with a super chat saying, can Zach please get with Kobe's trainer to tighten up those handles? Please.
My God.
Hashtag Tragic Johnson.
After 10 years, the man is who he is, bro. Honestly. After 10 years, he is who he is when it comes to the handles. He don't want to work on them. He don't want to fix them. He thinks they're fine. They will continually keep him from being the elite kind of player that I believe he can be. I believe he can be third team All-NBA, but it will keep him from being like second or first because he can't dribble like that, bro. And then he'll take the 16 dribbles and then take a long 2. You know what I mean? Like, it's just off.
I can't remember what quarter it was when we were watching, but if you recall, I called one out like right before it happened. Because it was so obvious that you knew what you were about to watch.
Yep.
Zach had a clean look at a 3 if he quickly pulled the trigger.
Yep.
Decided not to.
Yep.
Dribbled around for a while.
Yep.
And took a difficult, fading, falling out of bounds baseline long 2. That clanked.
Hard.
And it was like, I've watched this mini movie a trillion times.
You knew what was going to happen. You knew what was going to go down, man. You saw it happen, and it was going to be that way. And that's the sad part about it. No, so the handles won't change, unfortunately. He is who he is, man. Just got to roll with it. Go ahead, Joe.
AK says ball and player movement was an issue tonight, and players keep passing up open shots.
Oh, God. Did they pass up open shots? They passed up 3s to take long 2s. Like, several times. Like, it was like, no. I was like, oh, he's open. What? Oh, that's the shot you take. Huh? It was confusing. And I was like, no, that's the right shot. Why are you crossing yourself over to take a more difficult shot? Zach's the king of that. But why? And I saw Caruso do it too, you know?
Yep.
And I just saw several players do it. You know who didn't do it? DeMar DeRozan. Every time he's open for three, he's pulling the trigger, and he's not the one I want doing it. But he's the one that's like, it's open, taking the shot.
Like, oh, you're telling me as a team we need to get more threes up?
Yeah.
Which includes me, someone who's never been a big three-point shooter, getting more threes up?
He'll get them up.
Okay, cool.
Sure. He'll do the right thing and get them up, but he's not the one. That's not the one you're looking at to depend on.
DeMar launched 4 threes tonight. Made one of them.
Yeah.
Didn't hesitate on a single one.
Nope. 1 for 4 is what I expect.
It's the passing up of open looks.
Right.
And it several times down the stretch, fourth quarter and in overtime, Bulls passing up clean looks at a three. One of those possessions that led to a turnover, 2 different guys had good clean looks at a three and passed them up. Zach had a look. Alex had a look. It's
frustrating, man. And they won't take those shots, and then the ones they take, it's like, no. It's like, don't take that. And then it's Clang City. It's clanging the trolley, dinging the bell.
Joe, Super Chat Central. Let's keep them rolling.
Not so angry when you can have your cake and eat it too. Great game to watch at another Al closer to blowing this shit up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Chocolate Salty Bulls.
Living up to the name.
Let's go.
Come on out to the watch party, sir. Not watch party, sir. Take over. Come on out. Actually, come on out to the watch party, too.
Taking that place over.
It's one thing to close out the shooters and solidly contest shots, but another thing to have consistently missed assignments and give up free looks at the line and just hope they miss. That's Ricky.
Ricky. Yeah. What you just said, sir. That.
Captain Shithead, Yuta Watanabe, and Eric Gordon. Captain Dipshit.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can call him whatever I want to call him.
You know what? That's fair.
All had just blown defensive assignment open looks tonight.
Yeah.
And I mentioned, Gordon went 0 of 8 tonight, so it could have been worse.
Oh, yeah. 8 threes.
Man.
8.
Melvin Windman says, bro, petition for the Bulls to bench lack of IQ Zach LaVine when the game is on the line. I'm done giving him chances. There's 3 or 4 big stops in the final minutes to tie the game, and he just never mind.
Nice, Joey. Hey, Joey's narration of that was Morgan Freeman.
That was a great read, Joe.
Never mind.
Thank you for the super chat, Melvin. I will say, I mean, I don't know what kind of petition you're asking for.
Yeah.
You want like an old signatures on a clipboard style petition? Bring that hard copy to the United Center. Is that what you're looking for?
We have 500 signatures.
No, change.org. It's like a...
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, that'd be better to use.
Okay.
That'd be a better one.
Sure, if you want to go the internet route. Or are you asking for, people with a platform like us to advocate for benching Zach in the fourth quarter? Okay, here's the issue with that.
Talk to him.
If I, as a Bulls fan, just for example, I'm just saying hypothetically, for example, if I, as a Bulls fan, didn't want Zach on the floor late in the fourth quarter of close games because I think he makes bad decisions and he's not clutch, would I advocate loudly for the Bulls to actually do that, for Billy to bench his ass? Nah. Here's why. If you are rooting for this team to make significant changes, change up this roster, we have heard that the Bulls don't like the offers that they're getting from Zach LaVine when they casually throw his name out there or casually answer phone calls when people call and ask about him.
Every year.
What does it do to Zach's trade value if, as a 2-time All-Star, his coach is riding his ass on the bench late in close games?
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Because whatever he's doing in these fourth quarters, it can't hurt his trade value more than him being benched.
That's true.
So regardless of where you are on the believe in Zach or don't believe in Zach meter, either way, benching him is a bad idea.
Yeah, and because also he doesn't have the cachet to back that up. Like, if you bench James Harden, it's a different monster because you're like, I've watched you be an MVP. I've watched you lead the league in scoring. I've watched you lead the league in assists. I've watched you just dominate them as far as scoring is concerned for years. So benching him, you're like, it's different because you can look at the resume and see it. You can look at Zach's resume and just be like, well, maybe you should have got benched. It's just not enough. You know what I mean? So he doesn't have enough in the cachet to sit him down and then recover from that and get yourself what you want to get from him if you're going to try to get his trade value right.
Should have been talking shit.
Should have been talking shit. Shout out Cat Williams.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Much has been said about roster construction, but change will not happen 2 or 3 games under 500. Unfortunately, the more losses pile up, the more likely we'll force AK and Mark Eversley to make a change.
That's a Matt Peck tweet right there. That's a Matt Peck quote right there, baby.
Ooh, man, if only we had closed out this OT win tonight, and then we were just right there, 1 game away from being back to 500, and then who knows, maybe we'd get 1 game above 500. Yeah, fat chance that shit's going to happen. But instead, the further they sink, the less that they can fill the seats. Fill the seats with just below the poverty mediocre line. They can't fill the seats with boring mediocrity, then they can't fill the seats. And they got to make changes.
The Duke, if I had 2 choices, continue to watch this stupidly built team or let Dr. Joseph perform surgery on me, Joey, grab your scalpel. That's crazy.
Joey, did you go to med school?
I forgot I was a doctor. I was a doctor.
Joseph.
I'm a doctor actually because the chat.
Is that pre-established? Oh, I
they
do have a
anointed
vague
me
memory
to chat.
about
They anointed
someone
me Dr. Joey because I'm a sports psychiatrist.
awarding you a doctorate.
Yeah.
Dr. Joseph.
So thank you, Duke, for reminding me. He also chimes in with a bunch of chats here. So he's got another one here for 50.
Ew. The Duke rocks.
As a kid, Dad took me and bro to a Bulls game. We could either get a souvenir or a dessert, thanks to Jerry's prices. We agreed to each get one and share. I shared my treat. He didn't share the ball. We haven't spoken for 30 years, and it's Jerry's fault.
Hey, Duke,
here's another one.
Before you move
As
to
a
the
child,
next one, we love you, Duke. We appreciate the super chats. I'm just saying, it sounded like your dad gave you the option of a ball or wandering the desert, because desert. I know it's tricky.
Oh,
I know it's tricky.
Matt, he's literally paying us money.
Police.
No, I know. It's not for his sake. I wanted to bring it up because as a Bulls fan, I feel like I'm wandering the desert right now.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being grammar policeman right
Duke
there.
again, as a child, my dog got sick. My mom told me she would be okay. She was going to a farm to run free and it would make her all better. Then I found out the truth. On the way to the farm, my dad told me Jerry Reinsdorf ran her over.
First of all, how your dad know Jerry Reinsdorf like this, dude?
588-2300. Fire everyone and sell the team, Jerry. To be sung in the jingle. 588-2300. Fire everyone and sell the team, Jerry. Today.
I love that.
More Duke?
That's it from the Duke.
Okay.
Thank you, Duke. As always, we love you. Hope to see you tomorrow for the Bears stuff. Just got my. So Flipside, is JR. Flipside is your boy.
That's our guy.
This
JR
is JR from Grand Rapids here.
That's right. What
Just
up,
got
JR?
my ticks to the CHGO Bulls takeover versus the
go!
Magic. Woo!
Come hang out, man.
Looking forward to meeting everyone. Looking forward to hanging out with you, JR.
Yeah. I
Come
love
on
that.
through.
Come hang out.
Come on through.
Hey, man, we're 3-6, but we're going to go take over the Madhouse anyway.
That's right.
And
That's how we roll.
I'm going to bring my binoculars.
Okay.
I'm going to be looking in that owner's suite.
Okay.
And if I see Lex Luthor there, I don't know, maybe I can get a straw with like a soda from concessions.
Yeah.
And see if I can get a spitball all the way over there.
Yes. I'm glad you said
I need to set myself other goals for this takeover that go beyond rooting for the Bulls.
And I'm glad you said those
I need
goals.
to be productive while I'm there.
Because my goals when hanging out with you remain the same, and that's to be security. My goal is the same every time. So I'll make sure Matt has no objects on him when he comes up in this place. Before we walk in the door, he will be searched. Not by their security, but by this security right here. Because no, he's got a hidden pocket
but
right
I'm
there.
Have so many of our fellow Bulls fans vouching for the fact that I'm a stand-up guy.
Yeah, they didn't say spit paper at the man over there in the corner through a straw. They didn't ask you to do that at all. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you for it, man. But now I got to do security stuff because it's just what I do. It's my job now. I got to do security for Matt. I got to save him from himself sometimes.
Tyrone Super Chat says, opinion on trading DeMar and Kobe as a package. It's probably a little early.
Depends on the package.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
depends what you're getting back.
Yeah.
Right. Takes two teams to tango. You would need to find a trade partner who want both of those specific players.
Correct.
And could take on all that salary.
Right.
Yeah.
And, so DeMar's in the final year of his, so at least it's an expiring, which teams might be more open to. But it is close to $30 million or so in DeMar's last year of his deal. And Kobe just signed himself a new, you might call team-friendly deal.
Yeah, not a ton, but it's not a. It wouldn't be a small amount.
3 years and around $40 million with incentives. So, yeah, I mean, I think if the Bulls do actually look themselves in the mirror at some point between now and the trade deadline, and they have some time, and say self-destruct button, Spaceball style, they should call 29 teams.
Yeah. Opinion on trading DeMar and Kobe as a package. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, phone lines are open. We're hearing offers. Mm-hmm. That's okay. We'll consider it for sure.
I mean,
wherever the best, we're not going to give them away.
No, they'll become bigger and the phones will be ringing louder as you get closer to the trade.
Yeah, of course.
For sure.
Still early.
Yeah, very early. Very, very early, man.
We're early. Let's take our second break, and then hopefully when we come out of that second break, we will hear from our guy, Will the Go Gottlieb, who's at the UC tonight. God, OTU loss. Don't you just hate it? We thank you. Still 250-some of y'all Bulls fans hanging out with us late on a weeknight for postgame. Hit that thumbs up button. We would really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Make sure you go ahead and also hit that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Big Dave just making a quick run to the drinking fountain while we get the second ad break taken care of. And I, while he's filling up his water cup, will tell you about our friends at Circa Sportsbook. God, I love betting. Made a nice little parlay hit tonight. Shout out to Nurkic for his assists. Shout out to DeMar for getting his points. Shout out to Kevin Durant for getting his points. And what was the last one?
Caruso?
It was Javon Carter who got his points in the very short number of minutes that Billy played him tonight.
Play him!
Could have played him more.
Jesus.
Either way, when you're looking to get some bets down on the sports you're watching, hit Circa Sportsbook, who offer tight moneyline splits and use a low hold model. Regardless of the sport, regardless of the night, who's playing who, Circa will always strive to have those minus 110 odds for spreads of any game that you're betting on. Unlike other sports books who will sometimes take those simple spreads of this team is favored by this much, and here's the over-under, and instead of minus 110, they'll push them down to minus 115 or minus 120, just so they can get a little bit of extra money if your bet doesn't hit. Mm-hmm. Not Circa, though. They'll almost always keep them right there at minus 110. They also don't limit their players based on winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who don't limit their regularly winning players. They even encourage their bettors to download and try all of the other sports betting apps that are available now. And they know that there are a lot of them. Y'all know that there are a lot of them. Because Circa is confident that when you do, you'll find that their odds will beat the odds of most every other sports book out there. They also offer the best, unparalleled customer service.
Unparalleled?
Real people behind the Circa Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike those other sports books who use the chatbots who I want to die. ...
Etc.
I was going to say more than, and then I decided that was mean.
That's Joey's job.
All aspects of the Circa app are being run by the same team that run the main Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
We know it. We love it. Their staff is great. They'll take care of you, too.
Yeah.
Download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Be on the lookout for Circa's events, including Bears, Thursday Night Football, tomorrow night, watch party, CHGO, Circa, Joe's on Weed. Come hang out.
Yeah.
Parties, tailgates, all of that jazz. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. Text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
You know what? You know what's going to make me happy tomorrow?
What's that?
When I wake up in the morning? When I make me my sandwich in the morning? my nice egg sandwich, you know what I'm saying, with the spicy sauce on it.
I love a little breakfast Sammy.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm making with? That hero bread, baby. Oh, give it to me one time because it is a delicious. The taste is correct. The texture is on point and high fiber, ultra low net carbs, and zero. You heard what I said. 0% sugar per slice. Not just, oh my God, this nigga. No, the whole dang on thing. 0% sugar. 45 calories in the white bread, y'all. 45. All right? You ain't going to find another loaf of bread like this out there. I love it. I keep mine in the freezer so it lasts longer. You know what I'm saying? So I can just because I'm going to put it in the toaster anyway.
Put it in the freezer. Chillo. You got a loaf.
You did. And that's how it works, man. It is delicious. It is awesome. You all should use it as well. And since we want you to use it, we're going to give you opportunity to save some money also while you do it. So Hero Bread is offering the CHGO fam. That means y'all out there, 10% off their first order. All you got to do is go to hero.co and use the code CHGO to save on Hero Bread today, not tomorrow, tonight, today. Do it now. HERO.co to save 10% today because it's Hero Bread to the rescue. Delicious.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
What a transition as we now welcome our guy, Will the Goat Gottlieb, in to CHGO Bulls Post from the Goat Talk Hotline. Joining us from the UC, follow him on Twitter, Will_Gottlieb. Will, Bulls take a tough OT loss in this one. They fall by 1 point, 1 possession. What seemed to be the biggest takeaway from Billy or from any of the players you talked to in a winnable game that just slipped through their grasp tonight?
Yeah, I think it was a couple things. Number one was just the start to the game. I mean, I'm sure you guys talked about it, 22-4 run at the beginning of the game. It's just so hard to dig yourselves out of that hole. And I'm curious to just listen back to the show on my drive home because, in a lot of ways, I feel like this was actually one of their better games. I thought they played really well once they kind of gathered themselves. They fought back from down 18 early. Caruso was just like otherworldly. I don't even have really words to describe how incredible he was. But it just seemed like they kind of tightened the screws. Now they can't get off to these slow starts. They can't keep doing this. It's what's getting them in trouble. But you play a really tough Suns team pretty close for the majority of the rest of the game. Force overtime. I thought they had a couple of looks at the end. DeMar had the one basket that put them ahead, and then Nurkic took back the lead, and DeMar had another chance to win it there with the sidestep shot and missed it. So I think there's actually a lot of stuff to build on here. You can't have the defensive breakdowns that you had early in the game, but from a execution standpoint, I thought after that they actually played really well. Kobe had some really nice defensive plays. Other than that, it's like kind of the same story. You're going to run into this problem of it's a hard thing to do to win basketball games if you get outscored by 3, and you can't overcome that with free throws and points off of turnovers. So, I'm curious to hear what you guys thought about it. I don't want to make you rehash the whole thing, but I think all things considered, it was definitely a tough loss. I think it was a little bit deflating, but I thought they actually played one of their better games and have a lot of positives to build on it.
Yeah, well, I'll save my Billy Donovan discuss for when you're off the screen. I'll save that for later. But Zach LaVine, I wanted to talk about quickly because even though he put up some solid, 22, 8, and 8, he put those numbers up, but he was a minus 14, and it felt like kind of old Zach and that same old kind of song with the turnovers. Like, we kept seeing those big turnovers. He had 3 of them, but they were all pretty big as far as like dribbling off his leg or trying to drive to the bucket, kind of thing. What did you think of Zach's game, and did you kind of see it like that? Because it felt like for us, those turnovers were really big because of the time that they happened.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with Zach as being like the primary guy. obviously, he could score the ball with anyone, right? All three levels. And I thought actually during like the end of the first quarter and third quarter a little bit, when he's running more of that point guard, the offense is flowing more through him. He can do one of two things. He can like create really good offense. He had like a really nice pass to Caruso in the corner for one of his. He actually hit him for 2 out of those 3 threes that he had in the first quarter to bring the Bulls back. He was getting all the way to the rim. And he just like he has periods of time where he just like is making easy plays, and they're all like it's just simple in the flow. And even without the ball in his hand, like setting good screens, I thought his off-ball screening was really good. That was creating good offense for guys. But then, once things start to cook a little bit, whether it's with him or Caruso starts hitting threes, and now it's my turn, then I just feel like he kind of puts his head down and starts pulling up into these elbow fadeaways that it doesn't matter if somebody's in his face or not, he's still going to pull it. And then, like the turnovers start happening, he starts to force the issue. And I feel like he's the kind of guy where, if the offense is flowing, he looks really good at it. But if he's the one in charge of getting it to flow, it can be a little bit stagnant at times. And that's where I think you see those turnovers come in. And if they're late game scenarios, it's gonna be a lot louder, right? That's when you need to be making good decisions. I think that's why they put the ball in DeMar's hands. Billy was kind of saying after the game that it's not just so simple as like, I either have to pick DeMar or Zach. There's a lot of actions where both of them are involved. And like, you maybe enter the ball, but based on the way the defense is guarding you, DeMar has to make the right read. And in that situation with 7 point whatever seconds left, he decided, he had space to get a clean shot off one-on-one, and they'll take that. So it is kind of the same thing. I thought it's much better than it was in Denver, even really better than it was against the Jazz. I thought he played pretty well, but obviously costly turnovers at costly times, that's going to hurt you.
Will, I see people in the comments tonight, including most recently Echo 57, asking about a lack of playing time for Javon Carter, who's really been playing well recently. He was a plus 10 off the bench in just 13 minutes tonight. Now that Io is back from his illness, we've seen Billy gone back to a 10-man rotation with Io playing sort of, 10, 11, maybe 12, and the other 4 bench guys playing somewhere between, 15 and 25. I think Caruso actually even eclipsed 30 tonight. Has Billy addressed that at all? Because you had a great column the other day on Javon's most recent 3-point barrage game saying that, Javon and the way he plays offensively, finding open threes in transition and willingly taking them, willingly taking any three that he sees where he's open and has a window to shoot as a potential beacon for his teammates to follow his lead on that. And again, tonight, the Bulls lose to their opponent by 15 points behind the 3-point line. Same story, different night. What do you make of a lack of bump in minutes from Javon Carter through his recent stretch of solid outings?
It's hard to really say. I think part of it just comes down to the fact that Billy probably trusts Kobe and Io and Caruso more than he trusts Javon at this point. I think that it might be that simple. Obviously, I think Caruso's the best of the bunch and deserves to be getting the lion's share of those minutes, but he's also playing a lot of power forward. And Torrey Craig, played 20 minutes tonight to Caruso's 31. And most of the time, Caruso is actually at the 4. They did run a lineup, and that's first and second quarter, same as last game, with Javon, Caruso, Patrick Williams-Drummond, and then staggering Zach or DeMar in. But I think, so Javon is, for one, he's like pretty small. I know he's a really good defender in the sense that he gets in guys and forces them to make mistakes. He picks up full court, but he's also, he I think has, because of his size, he could get picked on in late game scenarios, especially like, KD was, they were just going after Kobe again, trying to get Caruso switched off of Kevin to, create a mismatch there. And, credit to Caruso for being like unwilling to get screened. But if Javon's out there, they're going to attack him too. And against a guy like KD, like, Kobe's got more strength. He's got more size. He can at least be more of a deterrent. So, you're not going to have a great option out there regardless. All these guys have their flaws. That's why they're, $6, $10, $13 million a year role players and not $20, $40 million a year max guys. But Do I think Javon should get a little bit of an expanded role? Absolutely, but you have to also consider like where are those minutes coming from? And Kobe, I thought, has played really well, especially in these last 2 games. Io, I think Billy would prefer to be a 9-man rotation. He kind of mentioned that pregame, but because of how well Io's playing, like he wants to carve out a role for him. And so it's like, where are those minutes coming from? And I think as well as Javon has played, I don't think he's necessarily outplayed either of the guys in front of him. And that's just kind of unfortunately the truth. But I think he will always have a strong role in this team. It's just a matter of like, is he going from 10 to 12 minutes or can he push that up to like 18 to 20? And I think that's really going to depend on both his play and the guys who are ahead of him in the depth chart.
I think Billy just needs to recognize who has a hot hand and roll with that. Like, I just think that's what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be regulated. Like, you get 10, you get 12. Who's hot? He's hot. Put him in the game. Roll with him. We'll take whatever flaw comes with that. But if he's hot, he's got to play. That's just my opinion.
Sounds so simple.
That's just my opinion. All right? That's just how I feel. That's my opinion. But that's why I'm sitting here. But I wanted to ask you about Torrey Craig and Patrick Williams because they combined for 3 points tonight. Whose output were you a little more, I don't want to say disappointed, but I guess surprised at how they played? Was it Torrey's or was it Pat's? Because even though Torrey was in there playing 19 minutes, I believe he was a minus 16 or something like that.
I think he was a minus 24.
Oh, minus 24. Thank you. But he scored 0 points, 3 rebounds. But Pat, had 3 points, but he was 1 of 7, from the field. So, whose output were you a little more surprised at tonight?
Probably Torrey, just in the sense that, like, I feel like this has kind of been the Patrick experience since he moved to the second unit. He's not playing a ton of minutes. He's taken, his chances. He actually was out there with, like, Zach and Vooch or maybe DeMar at a certain point. He was still kind of looking for his shot in the mid-range area. The thing that's crazy about Pat is that he just, like, gets blocked or, like, can't finish at the rim or, like, fumbles the ball trying to get a rebound at the rim so much. It's very strange. For a guy that's his size and his strength to just constantly not come up with the loose ball when he's like clearly going after it. Like, I don't want to knock him for a lack of effort there. It's just kind of like bad luck or I don't know what, bad touch. But I do feel like that's kind of been the Pat experience so far. Torrey, like first play of the game, he somehow came away with like a fadeaway jumper in the lane. The offense like bogged down and that was what they resorted to. And I don't know. I just feel like he was kind of out of a rhythm. Like the whole thing about him and Javon, for that matter, is that they've played with high level guys their whole career, and they know how to do that extremely well. And so, they're role players. They're not going to stuff the box score every single night. But yeah, I think Torrey kind of just had a really rough game, and part of that is like with the plus minus is that he was in there guarding Kevin Durant. And then he got pulled, and the team went on a bit of a run once KD came off the court. And so, like, the matchups and lineups play a big role there. But neither of them played really well. And then on top of it, Caruso was amazing. So you just kind of roll with that.
Will, thank you for joining us, man, and sharing some of your insights. We appreciate it, as always. All y'all out there in Bulls Nation, make sure you are following our guy, Will Gottlieb, on Twitter, Will_Gottlieb, for all of his reporting, updates, tidbits, videos, breakdowns, and, of course, read everything he writes for us, allchgo.com.
King of the quaff.
Will, thank you, buddy. We will talk to you soon. Get home safe from the madhouse, all right?
Bye, guys.
Peace.
No goon. No goon tonight with Will.
No goon tonight. All right, cool. He's off screen. I can yell about Billy.
Okay.
So, yeah, what the hell? I what concerns me when he doesn't do those things, like with Javon Carter, it makes me feel like he doesn't have his pulse on the team and what's going on. And that's what really is concerning for me. Because regardless of your roster construction, when you're out there on the floor, you should be able to feel who should be out there, who's hot, who's cooking, and put them out. I don't care who it is. If Io's cooking, leave him out there. I've seen him do that. And that's what I don't understand. Because I've seen him do it when I saw Io cooking his rookie season against Boston. We're leaving him out there. You know what I mean? He's like, cool, he's hot. Roll with him. I'll deal with whatever comes. You know what I mean? But it feels like that has kind of gone away as we've gone on in these years, Especially now, I'm seeing it more this year because I'm just looking at guys like Javon who are like Bro, he hit 3 straight threes and he took him out the game. And I mean, after the third one, he took him right out the game. And I'm like, what are we doing? No, he's hot. Shouldn't he be in the game? Shouldn't you stay in there? No, he needs to come sit next to me. And then he didn't come back in until late in the third, like late in that third, and then went about 1 for 3 or 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. I don't understand those kind of things, man. And maybe it's because I'm a fan, whatever, sitting here looking at it. But for me, if you're hot and you're cooking, let that chef cook. Them other chefs got to go somewhere else. I don't care if you like the other chefs because they make the tuna tartare like you like it. If this dude over here killing them with the pate, then let him cook. Let that man cook, dog. Like, let him have his opportunity to do it. That's what was really concerning to me, Matt. It just doesn't feel like when you do those kind of things, you have your finger on the pulse of what's going on with this team. And you understand it when it comes to players that you like. Because you get it when it comes to Ayo. You get it when it comes to Caruso. You know what I mean? You get it when it comes to those guys. Yep. But you don't understand it when it comes to this. You know what I mean? When you're watching this guy out here do that, you talked about, Will talked about Kobe being attacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In that fourth quarter, which is true. You see it, plain as day. Fine. You know what I mean? Let Javon be attacked. I don't care. My thing is, if it's going to be attacked, it has to come back on the other end of the floor then, right? Kobe didn't do that like that because we saw it in the overtime where he missed those 2 wide open threes. We saw him turn that ball, a bad turnover by my man Kobe White in that fourth quarter. And I don't know if he should have been in there or not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you have those opportunities, when Javon, let's say, is 4 of 5 from the 3-point line, he should stay in the game. Let's see him get attacked and cook and see how he handles it. And if he can't handle it and he's just getting his ass ate up, fine. All right, let's make a decision then. But don't make the decision before it gets a chance to happen when the dude is out there showing you he should be on the floor. That's what I'm saying, man. That bothers me, bro. Like, that kind of shit really bothers me.
I don't disagree with you. And that's what I mean, for the way that the Bulls are already losing in repetitive ways, not even 10 games into the season.
Yeah.
I think that Billy is responsible for some of that.
Sure.
Because of his for all of the times that you've said, I think Connor in the comments made a joke about it, the fact that Billy's not beholden to anything, I feel like he's become a bit rigid.
It does, right?
Bridging the end of last season into this season.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he's made that switch with Pat and Torrey in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
He has juggled a little bit with who he's staggering in the second unit.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's like, okay, here is my built-out rotation down to the minute, and it's only a quick hook. Like the go with the flow adjustments from Billy, like subs in rotation wise, only ever seems to be quick hooks on guys.
Yeah.
As opposed to letting guys cook who are cooking.
Yeah. And literally, I'm just talking about guys who are on fire. I don't mind the quick hook if the rotations are working that way.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Keep it going like that. And that's what it was doing when the seasons were first going. You know what I mean? When Javon wasn't fine. Yeah. Keep rolling. Keep your rotations happening. Keep it like that. But hold on, everything should kind of stop and chill for a second if you see a dude doing that. You know what I mean? Hold on, what is this dude doing? Oh shit, we should look into that a little bit more and give him a little more opportunity, especially when you're not winning games.
I like John Marquez in the comments saying Caruso needs more minutes. It's, people in the comments all night have been saying protect Caruso at all costs, trade everyone but Caruso. We just heard Billy Donovan say the other day at a practice or shoot around when asked about maybe putting Caruso into the starting lineup.
Yeah.
I've thought about it, but we really are trying to keep an eye on his minutes. Is he, follow-up question, under a strict minutes restriction? No, but we're really trying to keep it under 30. Alex Caruso tonight, a team best 24 in the plus-minus column in 31 minutes off the bench.
Oh, my God.
So,
that's an overtime. Yes, you're keeping an eye on the minutes, and you shouldn't be, especially when you're not winning, bro. That's what I'm talking about, too. When what you're doing isn't working, things need to be tried. Because, again, this is the last season, right? For a lot of guys right here. Like, we should be winning. This should be coming together. So you should be trying new things. Let's see if this shit works. Because as the losses compile up, that's your losses on your record as well. You're on the team too, bro. Like, I just don't. understand it and I don't like it. I understand there are rotations and guys that have to happen, but when somebody's hot and somebody's cooking, they got to get their opportunity to stay in, man. Seriously, bro.
We got to wrap this up. We're going long, and it's late on a weeknight. We appreciate all y'all out there for hanging out with us late after a loss. One more shout out to our friends at the Goose Island Beer Company. It's Chicago's beer since 1988.
Shout out to you.
Try the Goose IPA. They come in tall boys. They're perfect after a Bulls loss. They treat you right. Try the Beer Hug family of pale ales. Try the 312 Wheat Ale, the Full Pocket Pilsner. Dave and I were sipping on those during pregame. And, of course, if you're going to Madhouse this season, try the collaboration with the Bulls. It's the Bull and Goose. Bull and Goose West Side Ale.
Yes.
Grab an Ultra Fresh Brewery exclusive beer at Goose Island Tap Room on Clybourne Ave in Lincoln Park, or from the tap room on Fulton Street here in Westtown. Goose Island Beer Company, it's Chicago's beer.
Sign Caruso to the max, then double it as a signing bonus. Your Bulls.
Shout out to Tyrone, who threw us a late super chat saying Javon, Kobe White, P. Will, Andre, and Torrey Craig is a line of question mark. Hey, man, that is some wild-ass shit.
That is some wild shit. But let's get crazy.
Let's get crazy.
Let's get nuts.
We're 3-6.
Let's get nuts.
Get crazy.
Let's get nuts.
Also, I saw our guy AK threw us one last super chat earlier while we were talking to the GOAT.
Okay.
But it was in reference to who I was yelling about seeing at the United Center tonight.
Okay.
And then someone else who used to be around. And I don't want to talk about that. Thank you, Joey, for the neuralizer. It is needed. Appreciate everybody for hanging out in the chat. Appreciate the super chats. We are off tomorrow. Bulls are off until Sunday. Bulls off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Get your shit together. Or, maybe start making phone calls. Either one. I'm cool with either.
Either one is getting your shit together, to be honest.
Mark K and our guy Will the Goat will have HQ for y'all on Friday, 5:30 Central Time. And then we will be back for Bulls Pistons on Sunday.
Yes.
We will talk to you then. Until then, props to our guy, our pal and producer, Joey Spath, is on the controls.
Joey Sweatpants.
Big Dave is Bow, BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Dan Meal for the last minute super chat. We sucked major gluteus maximus.
Down the esophagus within the
It only got weirder as I kept reading, so I stopped reading.
All right, Dan.
Bulls Nation, hang in there. Hang in there. Regardless of what happens, we will go through it together. That's what we do. That is how we cope. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Have a goose. And bear down tomorrow.
Bear down. Let's go.
See, Red, be good. Good night.
Peace. Come back, Justin Fields.
We all silly like the mayor.